Hi, I'm Don Purdum at unveiltheweb.com. Today I want to share with you the fundamentals of online marketing. Now, these are the things that you have to do if you want to be successful online, especially if you're an offline business that's making the transition to having an online marketing component. So I know there are a lot of businesses out there that are really working on going through this process right now. So let me ask you, why are so many businesses struggling with how to do online marketing? Well, the answer is really simple. It's found in the fact that in over 300 years in America, we have focused so much on mass marketing. From newspapers that would evolve into radio and then television and then direct mail and telemarketing and all other forms of marketing, right? These are all mass marketing forms that speak to what I do, maybe a little bit about why I do it, and in particular, what my sale price is and how do I get you to come into the door, right? How do I get you to buy from me? These old mass marketing mindsets are no longer effective in the internet world, and the reason why is because the internet is not a mass marketing tool. So many of us are struggling because we're spinning our wheels trying to think through how in the world am I going to market and get people to my website and get them to buy from me. And then when we get our website up, it just isn't working. People aren't coming, they're not buying, or they're coming but then they're not calling, they're not filling out the forms. And for a lot of business owners, they're feeling that the internet is just an unpromised wasteland. And it is a frustrating experience. So the real question here, is that frustration because of the technology or is it something else? Well, we've already established it's something else, haven't we? The problem is not really the technology. The problem is that you haven't delved deep enough into your business to know what business you're really in. And so today we're going to go through 5 questions that help you identify and understand how the world might perceive your business and why they should be doing business with you. Because here's the crux of it. In the mass marketing mindset, it's all about me. But we need to make the transition online to no longer talking about me and what I offer or what I sell, but talking about that person who has got one reason for being at your website, one reason for engaging with you in your social media, one reason for listening to your podcast or watching your videos. We've got to get back to the very core fundamentals that the internet is a relationship building tool that talks to one problem for one person that translates to one sale. And then we can duplicate this over and over into an opportunity for mass sales. So let's jump in and let's look at the 5 questions that are going to help us with this. So even still yet, I guess I got a little ahead of myself there, didn't I? I want to ask you, what does your content marketing, what does your internet marketing have to accomplish to be successful? I love this simple little formula from Tony Jerry in his book, Strategic Acceleration. Clarity plus focus equals execution. Clarity plus focus equals execution. Now today I'm going to focus exclusively on clarity. In another video I'll focus on the focus. Boy, that's a double entendre, isn't it? But so I'm just going to focus on clarity right now. Clarity is that idea of being so clear and understanding about how the world sees you and how you help the world, that they want to be a part of what you're doing or they want to buy from you to meet their need. When you have such strong clarity, then you can focus. And by focus, I mean you can develop the strategies and the goals that then will allow you to execute. But strategies and goals without clarity are useless. But here's the real problem. The real problem is that almost all of us are going straight to the focus. We're going straight to strategies and building our websites and putting language in our websites about us for us instead of about our audience for the audience. That's the distinguishing difference. That's where we're going here. So, clarity. How do we get clarity? Question number 1. What are the tangible values that you provide through your products or services? Tangible values. So what's a tangible value? You may be sitting here going, what in the world is a tangible value? I kind of get an intangible value. I kind of get what a tangible value is, but what is it in my context? Well, if you offer a product A tangible value is how does what someone sees, touches, smells, tastes, or hears, when combined with an experience, make the prospect feel. For a service, a tangible value is how does the experience leave them feeling about you because you solved a problem or met a need. So let me think about this for a second. Let me translate this for you. A tangible value for a friend of mine who's starting a new company called U Sports Expo. A tangible value for him is he's trying to build an organization that will have an expo where vendors and individuals pay a fee to come to an expo to learn all about the youth sports and to go to clinics and do all kinds of neat things that go on in there, right? The purpose of it is to help give funding to the youth sports leagues. A lot of these leagues are doing a lot of inefficient funding like popcorn sales and candle sales and different types of fundraisers that make money for businesses but for an extreme amount of work leave them very little money. So let's think about the tangible value. Little Johnny wants so desperately to play soccer, but his mom and dad don't have the money. They don't have $150 for the registration fee. They're living paycheck to paycheck, and they're just making it as it is. And if they have one real emergency, they're in trouble. Well, imagine for a second that a sports league, the U Sports Expo, gets a check at the end of the expo, and it's a significant amount that they can then use to give scholarship money to kids that can't afford to play but want to. Now imagine how that parent feels when they know Johnny loves soccer and he's wanted to play for so long and now he gets to play and they're at the games watching Johnny excel or watching Johnny get an opportunity to learn something new about life and how to live life. And the feeling that they're left with is not just excitement but gratitude and thanksgiving. That's a tangible value. So question number 2, what problems do you solve for each specific tangible value that you come up with? See, if you do this right, you ought to have 4, 5, 6 tangible values at minimum. So each one of those ought to have some type of problems attached to them. So let's go back to the other situation that I just mentioned, right? Little Johnny wants desperately to play soccer. That's a problem. His parents don't have the money. They don't have the resources. We have a need. We can match these two things up. I don't really want to know in this question, though, what the solution is. I just want to know what the problems are. Now, if you do this right, you might have 5 problems. You might have 50 problems per tangible value. But you have to get really specific, and you've got to put yourself in other people's shoes who have the problems and really think through those problems and communicate those in first person. That's really important. We need to communicate them in first person, not second and third person, okay? This is personal. Remember what I said earlier, one person for one problem. Okay, question 3. Who are you specifically solving the problems for? See, when you know what the problems are, then you can go back through and identify and profile the people that have the problems so that now I know who I'm talking to about the problem. Maybe the problem in this case was a single mom who just, like I said, struggling day by day to get by, but Johnny needs to play sports, wants to play sports, is sitting at home, is getting overweight, is getting sloppy, is getting lazy, and sports will give him an outlet to make him a better kid and ultimately a better adult. So think about who are you specifically solving the problems for? Now, one thing I'll say here that I didn't put in the slideshow is that when it comes to your audience, you always have 3 different audience members. The first audience member is the person that is your prospect or your customer. Those are your number 1 primary core audience members. The second are those that serve the same audience you do but in a different way, and you'll want to network with them. We'll talk about that in the next video where we cover more of the strategies that it takes to be successful in internet marketing. Nonetheless, you really need to think through who those types of people are. Who serves the same audience you do but in a different way? And then how do we connect with them? And then the third one is everybody else that might be coming across any one of your online platforms. And how do we move them from being in that third position to the second or the first? So, who are you specifically solving the problems for? So remember question 1, what are the specific tangible values that you provide? The second question is, who What specific problems are you solving for each one of those tangible values? And question 3 here is who you're specifically solving the problems for. Question 4, how are your products or services a part of a solution? This one is really important. And here's the reason why. Until someone buys from you, you're not the solution, you're a solution. Don't think that they may not be out there doing research, or they may not be looking for companies who offer the same thing that you offer or something similar, and they're looking at price points. See, part of doing this exercise helps you get so clear on how to message yourself that you become very compelling, very interesting, very inspiring. I'm no longer pigeonholed into just competing on price. But now I'm competing on tangible value. I'm competing on that emotion that's triggering a reason why someone should buy from me. But until they do, you're just a solution. You are not yet the solution. And how do your products or services become a part of that solution? And then the ultimate question, what business are you really in? See, I love it when I sit down on an airplane and somebody sits next to me and they say, so tell me, what do you do? I love that question. And you probably get that question quite a bit yourself if you're a business owner. And people aren't familiar with you if you just say, I own ABC, or I'm a business owner or an entrepreneur or whatever, right? They may ask you, what do you do? It's another variation of the same question, but instead of telling people what you do, wouldn't it be much more interesting if you had a compelling statement or a compelling question that you could leave them with that leaves them feeling like, I need to know more? See, when I know what business I am really in, it's taking a look at the world view of who I am, not my view of who I am. Because people only care in their own context. They don't care in my context. So what business are you really in? So there's 5 questions that will transform your online marketing overnight. Now, I have to tell you that for my clients, on average, it can take 2 to 6 weeks to work through these questions. It's a lot of work. It's a lot of thinking. It's a lot of brainstorming. It's a lot of research that's mixed into that. So this isn't just one of those things that you can have a quick conversation with me and just say, here's the business I'm in, Don. No. It doesn't really work that way, universally across the board. I've never met a business owner that doesn't have a weakness in this area. See, the reason why is because we're all blind to it. I think I know my business, and that's the problem. I'm in my own box, and until I have somebody that's outside of that box come in and expose to me what business I'm really in, I'm not sure that I really know. So there's the 5 questions. What are the tangible values you provide to your products or services? What problems do you solve for each specific tangible value? Who are you specifically solving the problems for? How are your products or services a part of a solution? And what business are you really in? That, folks, is how you gain clarity around your business. And when you have clarity, then you can focus. Again, we're going to talk about focus in another video because that gets into strategies and goals. But then once you know your clarity and your focus, you can execute. So great content marketing happens at the foundational level, and that's what we're talking about here. We're talking about the time that it's going to take for you to really get that foundation set. You know, it's like anything else. You don't build a house on sand, right? Because it's not going to last. Well, neither is a business that's built upon nothing in terms of your messaging. You may know your product or your service, but you have to really know and understand the customer and who the customer is and why they should buy from you. And that's the context that we want to get our heads around. So, if you ignore this, then you don't give someone a real reason to read your blog, watch your videos, or listen to your podcast. If you don't do this work, then you don't give them a reason to engage with you through comments and building social validation on your blog. You don't give them a reason to share your articles or podcasts or videos, and you most certainly are not giving reasons for people to buy from you. So, when someone works with me, what are the benefits? I've already shared some of them, but let me make this real succinct for you. You're going to learn what business you're really in from a marketing and messaging perspective. You're going to learn how the public perceives your business. You're going to learn to identify specific target audiences. You're going to learn all the problems you solve from the customer's point of view. You're going to learn how to better communicate with your target audience as you learn their language. You're going to learn how to position your products or services as a solution to the client's problems or needs. You're going to create lots of content for your website that will benefit your site visitors and encourage them to contact you or buy from you. You're going to create loads of helpful content for a web design, social media, or search engine optimization company so that they can cut down their learning curve on your business and they can get the work for your business faster and more efficiently, thereby saving you even more money. You're going to learn how to change your mindset around your business. That helps your marketing and messaging all the way from your print material to your online marketing to your offline marketing. I mean, wouldn't it be great if you had a symbiotic message all the way across the board that could really nail your USP, your universal sales proposition? Wouldn't that be fantastic if you even knew what that real, tangible, inspiring, compelling, relevant USP is? Now, another benefit is I will work with you to create the specific strategies and goals to help you reach your target audience. That means if you want me to, I will work with you to help you build your website. I will work with your web design or development team in terms of helping them lay out that sitemap and lay out the content and take all the work that we did in the foundational parts and structure it. We'll build out what the calendar might look like for your blogging, or at least what your message ought to look like, and start getting you into some good habits there. We're going to talk about the blog and how to use the blog to write one article for one person that solves one problem. Because trust me, folks, if one person's got a problem, there's thousands or millions of others who have the same problem. What about social media? Same thing, folks. Social media and blog work hand in hand. Now, sometimes you're doing things on social media that you're not on your blog, but we'll talk about that in the next video, because in the next video, we're going to look at how does the internet holistically work together between your website, blog, social media, and much more. But I will work with you to help you create the specific strategies and goals that are unique to your own company's needs. And that's important. And finally, and most importantly, help you have the benefit of mastery over your business and your message. It is our job as business owners and entrepreneurs and marketers to master our business so well, so clearly, and so concisely. And many of us just aren't doing it. We're involved in the day-to-day, and we think we're building our business, and the most important thing out there that you should be doing is getting mastery over your business and your message. If you do that, then you know what business you're really in, so will your audience, and now they've got a reason to buy you. So if you want to learn more, I want to encourage you to watch the next video to learn how the internet works and what some strategies might be to help you grow your business through marketing online. That link is below here in the video where you can click and access it if you're not already on the website.